We stand on guard for thee. You got any packages coming in?
I just got 3 of them today. I got 3 graphic tees. I'm wearing one of them. It's the Punisher tee. You know what I mean? I made this shit. The other 2 tees were like 2 Mothman designs. They're like on white shirts. One's a Coca-Cola design, and the other one is like this.
You
Pink
made the
Floyd.
Punisher tee?
Yeah, I made this tee. Yeah, I just like I wanted this. So
Isn't there already a Punisher tee? Like
yeah, but this is not Mothman. This is not Mothman. This is just like
I know you just wanted to screen. Is it screen print or you got it sample made?
It's a DTG. No, I got a sample made. Yeah. Like
it's kind of hard.
Yeah, like what's it called? Realistically, when you get like these shirts, anyways, like if I was to get a vintage one, or if I was gonna get one from like another brand, the collar would be trash. The fit on the shirt would be trash. Like I know this is a good fit. It's a really good structure and everything.
I see.
I mean, it's a size medium. You know, like bro, don't I look like I'm like Y2K, like super cunt? You know what I mean? Super punk cunt, like.
You remind me of when I used to get like thermals from Walmart, and I would like get them with like graphic tees from Walmart too. It'd be like I hate school, or like my mom says I'm cool, but it would be like that Ned's kid or whatever from The Simpsons.
Those are if you had those nowadays, like those are fire because they don't make those like how they used to back in the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they were a little bit more out of pocket back then.
They were just more like edgy. They were like playfully edgy. Now they're doing like weird stuff.
Stop it, step sis. It's like Bart.
Oh, don't kill me. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, nah. If they sell like vintage like Cherokee, for instance, which is like basically the old Walmart brand.
That's crazy.
What's it called? But yeah, no, any packages. I got a hat coming in and a watch. What about you? You decide to like put a key in your eye.
I got a pair of pants coming in from Drew Garments. They're brushed cotton Rick Owens Geth jeans. I have a package No, Geth. It's Rick Owens. It's like they're straight cut jean. I have the order I made on our last podcast. I have 14th Addiction hoodie with the fur.
It didn't come in yet?
Nah, because it has a 6-week production time because he makes it to order, and I sent him my measurements, so he's like making it to my measurements.
Oh, that's dope. That's pretty dope.
Yeah. I also ordered the Gypsy bag from that collection. So that's gonna be coming in as well.
Mm-hmm. That's like a regular bag, or is it like a tote bag, or like a backpack?
It's kind of like a sling bag. It's kind of like a satchel, but it's like edgy. You know what I mean? It's like asymmetric leather cuts. There's like a bunch of like gypsy like trinkets hanging off it and whatnot.
Okay, that's dope. That's dope. We love trinkets.
Yeah. Alright, so
enough of all of that. What was it? Episode 5?
Yeah, let's get it. Episode 5. Who are you again?
It's me. Hugh Hefner, aka Hugh Dit, aka Hugh Etro, aka Tiger Shrimp. And you know, I'm with who am I here with today? I'm here with Prince of Persia or Persian Owens.
No, you're here with fucking Patchy the Pirate because my fucking eye socket is on fire today. I'm Mahan. Holy.
Again, what are you wearing?
So what you got on today? Oh, is it me? Okay.
You first.
All right, I got the chains on again. I don't take them off, so that's usual.
How many chains?
Is that 3 chains?
Nice. Okay.
Wait, hold up. I got this setting to make. There we go. Zoom me out a little bit to do the whole body fit. Oh my god! I got the fucking headphones. I got the Ziggy Chan Henley tee with the Ziggy Chan special. This weird shit. Weird fabric here. Extra weird fabric here. like vintage fabrics that are like naturally dyed. You already know what it is. I got the
it's hard.
Madou Pefe style on the chair.
Mm-hmm.
Dries Van Noten,
Stand on Rick's
like
balls.
baggy jeans with the sailor drop crotch flap that can be folded. Holy shit, I'm spinning 360 style. And I don't have anything on the feet today because wearing your shoes inside your house is gross. But I had the Rick Owen pull up bogans on earlier, so that's what I was rocking.
What do your pants have? They have like a built-in apron or something, like a flap?
Headphones are like a Chinese finger trap.
You hear what I said? You already said?
No, not at all. I couldn't hear anything till now.
What's on what kind of
The
pants are you wearing?
fingers?
You have like an apron or something on?
No, it's a Dries Van Noten. They have fuck. They have like a sailor flap, but I can't show it. But essentially, like the crotch panel, is it noticeable? Thing is, the crotch panel here can fold up and it buttons up, and it guards the fly, and there's like hidden pockets under it as well.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like maybe
Yeah,
like
but-
half overalls or something.
It's kind of like that, but they only go up to the waistband.
No, I get it. It's like an
you could
extra
do it-
layer that basically covers that, like your pelvis. It's like pelvis.
Yeah, and it has two buttons on the corner, so you could have it like asymmetrically hanging down, or you could have it fully covered. If you want to add some dimension to like your crotch.
You're rocking it asymmetrical right now? Is that what's going on?
No, I'm rocking it down because I took a piss before the podcast, and I didn't bother rebuttoning it.
Did you bother to wash your hands?
That's to be determined.
Nah, just playing. All right, sounds good. What's it called? That's a good fit.
What you got
What am I
today?
wearing? I already told you I'm kind of wearing. Okay, so I'm wearing this hat. It's like I think it's a hard Alice dupe. I actually got it off AliExpress, but it's a pretty cool hat. It's like camouflage. My friend said it looks like a school shooter hat. There's a big tournament on it. I put some accessories on it. As you can see, I'm a big horror fan, so I put man, you can't even see it.
You gotta like
even
put your
see it.
hand behind it. You gotta do like the influencer
you
thing.
see
You
it.
gotta do-
You see it from The Shining?
Yeah.
From The Shining, and we have Hellraiser on there. Pinhead from Hellraiser. And then what else we have it? I have these lighter clips. You know when you get like,
Oh yeah. No,
Yeah,
I know.
like-
I know about that.
Yeah, it's like relevant of crust. It's like a crust hat, but it's not like that serious right now because a crust hat has like bare shit all
Patches
over it.
and what? Yeah.
But yeah, it's like crust punk fashion. You know, I'm a punk guy, so like, I'm gonna do that. I got the Punisher tee, which I made. You know, I bootleg this. I'm wearing the same long sleeve from last one. It's like I got. Usually, I wouldn't do this where I'd wear like too many skulls because I think it looks really tacky when you wear one skull and then you have like so many of them. But the Punisher skull is kind of really digestible. It's like a iconic logo. So it kind of doesn't even look like the skull on my sleeve. So yeah, and then I was gonna wear the same pants as last time, but I know like I'd get flamed for that. So I'm freaking wearing some Amazon. These are actually girl pants, parachute girl pants. These are like double XL. You know what I mean? I'm taking all the sizes from the big girls. Who cares? And then on the feet, I have
they were all black anyways.
what? These are, oh, you're funny. Yeah. Nah, it's like yeah, because people were all black to look slim, but like nah, they should. I remember we said we don't like that. Well, I don't like that. Mohan likes that. Okay, I'm wearing some Sweetco's from these are for indoors. I got these from Essence with my tax return money like years ago. And
yeah, so like from the summer of like 2019 or some shit.
Yeah, you remember. These are good. These are like $300. My sister's dog chewed the fuck out of them, so there's some bite marks in it. But that gives it a story. It gives it life.
It's lived in.
And then I just got the regular chrome on. I've got the mini dog tag. This one's really I really love this one because it's so digestible. You know what I mean? It doesn't, like,
it's a little low key.
It doesn't consume your chest or anything like that. Like, I know you're wearing 3 chains, so it kind of does. But I feel like because I wear so many graphics, I can't wear a big ass chain anymore because it just takes away from like the rest of my fit, and it just looks like
it's
out of place. Yeah,
there's so much piling on.
Nah, that's what I got on today, and I got some braces on. That's it.
That's hard. One thing I was gonna mention is I'm not wearing all black today, but I'm wearing all reddish brown. So I was kind of talking about like the monochromatic thing last time.
Nice, nice. What's it called? Reddish
Dude,
brown. Yeah, it's like a what burgundy or something or like what? Like
I don't even call it burgundy. It's like something like it's like a brown with a hint of red at
you look
best.
good. I
Thank
thought it
you.
was kind of like the moss drip, low key, because it was like such a big, heavy.
Such a long tee. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was usually wouldn't get such a long tee, but it was kind of interesting. And Yoji looks good with long tees because their pants are cropped.
Yeah.
But the hard part is like finding a jacket to layer on top of this because it's longer than most jackets.
So it's gonna like peek out, and then like you wouldn't just like tuck it from the back or something. You know what I mean? Where you tuck
like you kind of could, but it doesn't like stay. Like it's not guaranteed. I could tuck it into my pants, but it's like a whole different story. I was gonna say on the subject of punk. Are you familiar with ERD?
erectile dysfunction.
No, it's
ERD?
yeah, it's like enfant riche déprimé or some shit. It means like depressed rich kids in French.
No, I'm not familiar with that. That sounds cool though. That sounds like something I'd be into.
It's you
Depressed rich
probably would
kids?
be, but it's like $3,000 graphic hoodies that have distressing on them. There's like other shit. There's like punk rock aesthetics that they like borrow from. The designers like this creative director named Henry something who like always smokes a cigarette in interviews. And he has like runway shows in Paris and whatnot. But a lot of people say that the brand is so not punk because it's just like stealing from the punk subculture and making it unaffordable. It's actually more punk to buy rep ERD
Oh yeah, it's
than
pretty
to
hard.
buy
Yeah,
real
no.
ERD.
Yeah, no, that's what I love about punk culture. It's I see what they're exactly talking about. It's just like some rich guy taking punk culture and then again commercializing it, right? And then like kind of
Yeah,
like making a
exactly.
monopoly off of it. Nah, yeah, I think when it comes to like crust punk or crust fashion, people like making their own shit, and then like like what I said earlier, how like the shoes had my shoes had like bite marks in them, from my
Yeah,
sister's dog. It's just like there's probably like a story with each lighter clip that you're putting on your hat. These ones I just put
yeah,
on, like I mean, I just took them
or
off two
each
lighters and
patch
put
you
them on.
sewn on.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like some patches could be sewn on, some could be ironed on, some could be super glued on. Like I'm sure there's like a lot of like cool stuff. I'm sure ERD makes cool stuff. I'll probably take a look at them after this still, but I'm not gonna buy them if they're like $3,000 and shit.
Yeah, I think it's like kind of the difference of like something that's like lived in versus like runway fashion in a sense, right?
Yeah, nah, what's it called? Why? Like that's what we're talking about today, though, right? Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah. You want to talk about the set design today, where we're sitting?
yeah, I guess. So today we're sitting inside the Rick Owens store. We're on Rick
We're
Owens
in the changing room, isn't
furniture.
it?
I don't think it's a change room. I don't know because the Rick store I've been to in New York doesn't have these in the change room.
Yeah.
Like it also doesn't look like there's doors. Like this seems like more of like a waiting room type of deal.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I thought I was sitting on Rick Owens, which like he has that whole thing where he was kissing the photographer in his Montclair campaign.
Rick Owens would love us to be sitting on this crotch like this right now. You know what I mean? Bouncing too. You know what I'm saying?
Hopefully, I'd be honored. I'd be honored if that's what he'd want.
And yeah, no. To be honest though, I love like some Rick Owens stuff, not all of it, but I would never have this like chair in my house or anything like that. It would scare me every time I see it, yo. Okay, nah. It's
Yeah,
cool in the Rick
trust.
Owens store though.
Even in the Dover Street Market store, it's like a little frightening when you first see it.
Does it look like a real person first, and then you're like kind of like
Yeah, it does. Like your first like your initial reaction, like when you don't know it's there, you like you're like, oh, is that? And then it takes some time for your brain to like run the diagnostic. It's not moving. It looks kind of artificial, uncanny. Okay, it's like acrylic or like it's cast. Yeah, it's a real piece of furniture to our producer who's asking. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's kind of like I think the main topic of today, our main conflict, you being from streetwear and me being a little bit more from high fashion, was if runway fashion does not affect how people actually dress or build brands, does it really matter at all?
Yeah, no, called. It's about like, is runway fashion meant to be worn? Is it meant to be referenced, or are we just gonna ignore it? And at the end of the day, should it really matter to streetwear brands? Being that streetwear and like high fashion are like on two different, like it's like a spectrum, right? They're on two different sides of the spectrum, and then like somewhere in the
Mhm.
middle, they kind of meet sometimes. Like that one time with Louis Vuitton making the Supreme collab, and now a lot more now than before.
Yeah, I don't really feel like I feel like that collab was more high fashion than streetwear.
That shit was
It
ugly
was
back in the
like
day, though. I mean,
yeah. Yeah, I feel like on one end you have streetwear that is like very like lived in clothing, stuff that you would see out and about, stuff that like I think still looks in place when you're seeing it, like when you're walking through downtown or your like main city core, where like high fashion doesn't really ever look in place. Like no matter where you wear high fashion, yeah, you're standing out.
yeah, no, it's called like high fashion as in Louis Vuitton, or like high fashion as in like a Yoji model or like Yoji.
Well, they're all kind of right. Like even if you're wearing like full Louis Vuitton head to toe, you still look out of place. Even if it's
I
just
think you look.
monochrome, monochrome, monochrome.
I think you just look out of place though, just because if you wear like full anything head to toe, you kind of just look kind of like tacky. You know what I mean? You just like you look like you're a mannequin. You know what I mean? As opposed to like you're like mannequin or a spokesperson for the brand, as opposed to like being like an original person or like wearing an original outfit
Like I
or
think you
having
could wear
having good taste.
I think you could like wear Uniqlo head to toe, but like look very like well, if you don't know that that person's wearing Uniqlo, you look very in place. Like no matter where you are, you look like you are kind of an NPC. Like you wouldn't be turning your heads,
Yeah,
essentially,
but
right?
Uniqlo, yeah, like definitely, I wouldn't want to be wearing Uniqlo head to toe. And then like Uniqlo is kind of like what do you call it? Department store in the sense where they have like a bit of everything, right? And they have graphics and everything like that. But what I mean is
But
like
it's
they
like
have
it's very
like
normative. You
yeah,
know what I
yeah, they
mean?
have
Like
bombers, they have windbreakers, they have puffers.
yeah. Well, like
Yeah,
all brands have everything if you've collected long enough, like regardless of collection, right? But like take a runway show, right? Like there's no situation or no runway show where if you're wearing that in real life where you don't look out of place to some degree
no,
versus
I
like
agree.
streetwear.
I agree. I don't think runway fashion should be worn.
No, I'm not downloading anything. Oh my god. Take a shot every time I put eye drops in today.
Yeah, no, I'm just yeah,
Yeah, we
yeah,
took a
no.
long pause because our producer won't nice his beak. Yeah, no, I'm clean. We're just making sure there's no latency issues.
Yeah, yeah, are you good, bro? What I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah. So, like, I'd say even though like runway fashion doesn't kind of interact with everyone's real life, where like streetwear brands are built online, they're judged by community responses and not shows. There's like a growing gap of like what fashion insiders say actually matters and what influencers say matters and how people dress and buy right now.
Okay, but like in particular with runway fashion, like if you have a runway fashion always has to be like extravagant and like out there, right? Because like if you have like a fashion show and you have people on the runway where they're not wearing like outfits that kind of like are attention grabbing,
Hmm.
is it not is it considered a failure? Like you know what I mean? Like it
Not
would get bad press, right?
not necessarily. There are like very plain and clean runway shows that get decent press. Like a lot of like Helmet Lang and early like 2000s, I think late 90s was like minimalism, right? So
Yeah.
it wasn't fully well received then, but runway shows really started becoming like extravagant around the Alexander McQueen era.
Okay, why? What were they incorporating? Like just like
So
bigger sizes, bigger
no,
proportions.
no. So like what the runway show would be like a theatrical show that would essentially show the brand's like full artistic vision, and because it was so extravagant, it would get a lot of headlines and attention. So it was a lot of free press that would give the brand clout and reverence, so people would go to it. But then what would happen is the stuff that would do put in the commercial stores were a lot more wearable, so people would actually buy it. So it would generate sales through making wearable clothing in stores, but it would garner attention through the fashion show.
You know, being people weren't like upset that when they went to the actual store they didn't find like the runaway piece in the store. Like, what if they wanted that piece? You know what I mean?
So there are cases where some people go to the runway show and see wearable pieces they like and then go into the store and it's like nothing like it was on the runway. That's, I think, just bad, like not marketing but product development as far as like commercial retail goes. But like a lot of runway pieces you can buy bespoke. So like when you're really uppity and rich, you can go and get it made like through their haute couture line, or get it made to order. Like those aren't usually made to be sold ready to wear in stores.
Okay, but like when they go, like I see what you're saying though. So runway fashion is essentially meant to like it be like press and like develop like a brand identity for like the new season or so, or what? Like, is that the main goal of runway fashion?
It's one way, and it's also just to get the full artistic vision of the brand out, because like fashion at the end of the day is like a business. A lot of like consumer fashion isn't art, and it's like the way for the creativity and the artistic side of the designer to shine. So that's like the artistic vision. It's not supposed to be garnered for money. It's not supposed to be utilized. It's like technically useless, which is like what I think like a lot of art is. Art for the sake of art, versus like streetwear or the consumer store is like just materialism, right? Like you just want that thing to look cool, so you buy said thing, but like you don't want to be weird. Like you want it to be usable.
Okay, so art. You're saying runway fashion is art for the sake of being art. So in a sense, would you say runway fashion, when a brand does like a runway show, would you say that's like kind of like performance art? You know what I'm trying to get at?
It's a combination, because it's like a bit of performance art to have the people walking the stage, but it's also kind of like a sculpture or a painting, but it's been like sewn and cut rather than molded and like shaped by clay or paint.
Like you can't wash a runway piece, can you? Like realistically, you always have to get it dry cleaned.
Um, that just depends on fabric and materials used most of the time, but I'd say typically, especially depending on the construction.
Yeah. So some of these pieces use like wiring, you know what I mean? And like well, that's mainly that wiring just so they could like adjust everything and make it like weird shapes.
That was a new well, it's not technically new. Like Y Project has been doing it for a while. My girl got me Project jeans that have a wire running through the leg, so it has like really weird bent shapes, and like if you sit down and stand up, it like gets a new shape. Something they've done for. Jeans. Well, I never wear them, so it's.
Oh, you never wear them. You never wear them, eh? You never wear them.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Wear them. Make sure you're not listening to this, first of all. But second of all, so runway, you have a piece from a runway, essentially, or like similar to like what runway fashion is, where it's like unwearable, nah?
But like runway fashion isn't necessarily about the clothes or even selling the clothes that are on the stage, but it's
Yeah.
about setting the language.
Like when Balenciaga always does like a different runway show, and then they had that one where like, what is it? They were like doing it in mud or something like that. You remember that one?
Yeah, not necessarily, and I'd say like Balenciaga. I think their runway pieces are usually in store. Like Balenciaga has been quite wearable. Like
Yeah.
their runway pieces aren't really like a separate artistic expression. Like they have Balenciaga Haute Couture, which is like made to order, which is like the closest thing to that. But like another one is like Rick Owens. It's like they have people wearing the people. But that's not something you can buy in store.
Wearing the people? What do you mean by that? That sounds weird.
This is something I got to get the producer to show up. But like for instance, Rick Owens has a lot of pieces. So they have two segments of pieces based on their style codes. One is commercial, and I think it usually starts with RU. And then anything RR is something that was from the runway show that made it to store.
Okay. But then like so you're saying that's only specific to Rick Owens and Balenciaga, but then I would say like what, like Versace wouldn't do that?
I'm using it more as just like a known a known example. Like I don't know which ones really do it. And then but like I just Balenciaga doesn't do it as much. They actually show the clothes that they sell more often than not. Rick Owens has like more of a mix. There's like some things that garner attention and notoriety, like the people wearing people.
Yeah.
And then like there are some pieces that are just from the commercial build, and we got the producer putting the example of like some of the Rick Owens runway where there's people strapped via harnesses or like different clothing mechanisms to other people.
Nah, like that's cool. I like that part of runway fashion. Like I agree that if you're gonna have like some sort of performance and like some sort of show like what the runway is, I think it's cool to have it like marketed in that type of like visual way where like you're kind of doing something so abstract where people are wearing people. I think another one that was like I always see on my like my For You page or whatever is like you see that one runway show where everything was falling apart, like all the clothing pieces kept falling apart.
So
The stage at the very end
yeah,
fell apart, and it was like meant to like just show like it was like meant to be a commentary on like the current stage of fast fashion. So I like shit like that. And I like when I forgot if it's Balenciaga or if it's Mason Margiela, but I like it when they have the runway shows and then it's like you get an invite to it and the invite is like something so cool. I think it was Balenciaga where like they gave them like what is it,
the
custom Game Boys
iPhones or whatever. Yeah,
something like that. Yeah, and you can play Snake and then it's just like I think that's cool because like you can like that's forever like a piece that you can take. It's also it's like a souvenir that you can take home and it's like symbolic of that season, that runway, and like specifically what the brand wanted to say that year. You know what I mean? So I think that all of that's cool. But I think at the like all in all, at the end of the day, like if you see like any of these, like you're not gonna these runway pieces aren't making it off the runway. And I know you're kind of saying they shouldn't, and they're kind of not meant to always. But like realistically, in what way do they really hold weight in terms of like streetwear, which is like kind of like the main thing, the main thing that people can wear, I guess.
So my point to that is like streetwear didn't replace the runway. It just kind of changed who gets credit.
You're saying that like these streetwear brands are getting more credit for like being more tastemakers, or
Basically, so like runway would usually set the language for what the season to come would look like, and I think it still does. Like a lot of like runway shows that get showed, Zara will have something that was inspired for one of them like a week later. But what happens is like Supreme will like release like some flared trouser or like leather jackets, and because the populace is myopic and only kind of looks at that rather than like the avant-garde, they will attribute that credit to streetwear, where they don't know that it actually came from the runway, and sometimes even like years ago.
But you're saying that specifically to about Supreme or like what? Because Supreme
No,
definitely
it's
is a
just
runway.
not. No, I'm saying the runway used to be attributed more to fashion, but now there's like streetwear culture. So Supreme or Stussy as an example, right? Or even like Carhartt for like workwear. And people will be like, "Oh, it's streetwear that's setting this tone for like this trend that's going on right now." But because people are being myopic, they're not knowing that this was actually something that the runway did like years ago, or it might have done it like a season ago, and it's only now trickled into the street. So it hasn't changed um, runway as the language setter. It just changed who gets credit for it.
Okay, but like like nothing's new under the sun. So who's to say that like those inspirations drawn from that runway show weren't drawn from like other like already existing things? And like you know what I mean? They could be doing their research on whatever, and they could be grabbing these things not from like I'm just saying like runway fashion probably draws its inspiration from other forms of life too, as opposed which could be streetwear too, right?
Well, like streetwear wasn't really much of a thing, I'd say, until the like 90s. So if you go to like the 70s and 80s a little bit
Yeah.
more, there's definitely like different types of cores. You know what I mean? Like there's your like your pop, your wide collar, your disco, your baggy suits, trousers. Like men were dressing in a certain way, women were dressing in a certain way. There was like different kinds of lifestyles. People wore a lot more clothes for the occupation they were doing or the lifestyle they were doing. And you have like different garments that come from those sects of life. Like you have coveralls, you have military wear, you have workwear, and the runway, like the highest forms of fashion, because like back then only these fashion houses had enough financial backing and knowledge or education on the art form to be able to like take that and make it something that was like wearable but to the highest level for the masses, right? So you have a lot of
I would
things like,
disagree for the masses. I would like completely like it's definitely run not for the masses. Like, runway fashion for
well
the masses? Nah, it's for like the people with their nose up in the air and they want to talk about fashion. You know what I mean?
Well,
Because they have nothing else to talk about.
that's how it starts, right? So it starts up there, but it eventually trickles down. So you'll have them make the idea, and then you'll have a brand like Gap copy it and recycle it, and then more recently there's like H&M and Zara, and it gets cheaper and cheaper, and it trickles down to the masses. But by the time that fashion cycle used to take place, high fashion or the runway would already be on to make the next trend, right?
So
And
you,
then streetwear came as like a advent of that.
okay, but you're saying like specifically runway fashion makes these like runway fashion is the tastemaker. Runway fashion is setting the tone for like what's hot and what's like coming up the next season. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. So they were creating the trends like far before it got to the consumer level, right?
Uh I just have to like disagree on that, and I have to disagree on the one thing where you said like streetwear only blossomed up in around the '90s. Like realistically, streetwear was even in the '70s and '80s, like through punk fashion, for instance, like through Seditionaries, through Vivian Westwood. That was from 1970 to like 1984, and then that
Yeah.
was like straight punk fashion, which did not come from runway fashion whatsoever. Like that was straight from doing drugs, going to crazy parties, UK rock, what's it called? And like I feel like and like look where they are today. Now they're Vivian Westwood, and Vivian Westwood is like huge. That's like one example. But what I'm trying to get at is like I'm just kind of countering your point that like definitely they could you could want to kind of say that high fashion that the runaway kind of sets the tone for the season and everything like that. But that's not to say that these guys aren't like getting stuff from other places. Like for instance, streetwear.
So
Think about
you
streetwear.
you
Streetwear.
you know how you butchered yourself, right?
I like butcher myself.
You just referenced Vivienne Westwood.
But Vivienne
Vivienne
Westwood,
Westwood's Runway.
Vivienne Westwood is Runway. But when it first started out, it wasn't Runway. It was punk fashion. Like definitely, like remember when they were having the anti-Nazi shirts and stuff like that, and they were having like, bro, and that was straight from like UK fashion, man. Like here I'll send you a thing. Like I'm sending you a random image right now, but here. Like that, like they at the time they were drawing that from what do you call it?
Yeah, and was this
Like
not on the runway?
I don't think it was on a runway. I think what this was um I can't say if it was on a runway or not. Let's to be honest, I can't say if it's on a runway or not. But what I can say is that it's definitely this inspiration was stolen from streetwear. It wasn't
Yeah,
like you know
but
what I mean. So I think that goes along with what I was trying to say.
so I don't think so. Your point, I think, disregarded what I said about there wasn't streetwear. People weren't dressing to simply like be out and about in the streets. There was different sects. Sure, punk existed, but there wasn't punk clothing. They were going out and finding ways to make their punk aesthetic, whether it was making it themselves by wearing band tees, but band tees weren't like a commodified hot topic urban outfitters like inspo sec that became like streetwear until someone like Vivienne Westwood brought it into high fashion, and then it eventually trickles down into streetwear. Another great example is
Nah, she's feeding them back their own food. You know what I mean? And she's trying to like
because it didn't exist as a fashion repository until she made it a fashion repository.
you're telling me just because she put the name on it, like doesn't mean that it didn't look good before? She
I'm
essentially
not saying it didn't. I'm not saying it didn't look good, but it wasn't. It wasn't a trend. There wasn't a tastemaker, right? Like punk fashion was like a grunge, crass, like look
yeah.
down upon. Like it was rebellious, right?
But then all these old whiteheads wanna like look like us now. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
Well, here's my thing. Like, would you be into punk right now if Vivienne Westwood didn't make it cool?
yeah, I was always into punk. I was into punk from the music. You know what I mean? It's like that's what I'm trying to get at. It's more of like a lifestyle type of thing, and that's what streetwear is
Yo,
from. It's more about like a lifestyle
producer,
as opposed.
can you please get a picture of Hefe and his skinny colored jeans and American
Nah, you can't
Apparel
find
hoodie
that. You can't find that. That's
from
scrubbed off the internet. That's scrubbed off the internet. Yo, find Mahan wearing a fucking ASAP Yams shirt or some shit like that. Yeah, with a long ass V-neck.
So my point being, right?
Okay, what's your
So
point?
these people in high fashion made it tasteful to even wear it into the streets eventually. They're essentially not paying homage, but they're referencing. This will get canceled. Holy shit. Like my second point too is like look at your transition into style and fashion, right? Before you wore baggy jeans, like when you were still wearing the Dickies, Balenciaga was putting out gigantic jeans far before that. And it took until it got down to the consumerism level of H&M and Urban Outfitters until you started dressing that way.
Nah, I got you on this one,
And
bro.
that's
I
when it
got you on
became
this one, bro.
streetwear.
Because I got you in this one. Jenko jeans was putting out big ass Jenko jeans where you could put the laptop in your pocket way before Balenciaga was doing that shit. So Balenciaga definitely took that shit from early Jenko. You know what I'm saying?
But Jenko wasn't considered cool. It was a trend that popped off for a second, but it didn't become mainstream.
Nah, but like it became mainstream enough where it was like skater fashion, and then skater fashion became cool streetwear, and then from there Now Balenciaga like mimicking that shit, and they don't even skate. You know what I mean? Does Balenciaga have a skate team? I don't think so. Yeah.
But you're just echoing what I'm saying, right? So these sects existed as like micro trends within like lifestyles. Sects being sectors, right? Like little micro niche sectors in the population, like insignificant worms that have no impact on the guise of fashion or what people are wearing out and about, right? Like you're some grunge delinquent who's wearing like these uncanny proportions of clothing, and it isn't until someone masterfully puts pen to paper and makes it digestible to the masses, and then like the vultures of streetwear repackage it in shitty quality to resell to the like Philistines, where it then becomes, oh, streetwear did this, right? But the people who actually put it on the pedestal was the runway.
It just sounds like the vultures are the runway fashion people, and they're just trying to say they're not vultures by saying like, oh, like you need us you need us. You know what I mean? Like, look how great our shows are. Like, you want us to keep taking your sauce and fucking giving it back to you. And I don't think they actually want that. You think like the dude wearing the big ass jeans and everything wants to what do you think Jenko's happy that Balenciaga kind of took their proportions and essentially didn't pay them anything for that?
Dude,
And now it's taking credit for it?
Jenko's revenue has probably tripled in the last decade because Balenciaga made baggy jeans cool.
Nah, but people who wear Balenciaga don't want to buy Jenko jeans. People who buy Jenko jeans already want to buy already were buying Jenko jeans before Balenciaga was trying to like dupe that shit.
There's no way, like even if you checked the Google word or Google search for Jenko, that there is a flat line between the 90s to 2020 where the baggy jean trend started happening. It's the high fashion makes the taste. They set the language and the tone for the trend cycle. And then what happens is the fall off is streetwear, right? People go to brands like Jenko to get an imitation of the art. It's insanely like
How is it an imitation when it's the original piece? It's the original art.
because people aren't getting it because it's Jenko, right? Like no one gave a fuck about Jenko for 20 years. No one for 30 years. No one gave a fuck. It existed.
Yeah, maybe in your circle. Maybe in your circle.
In what circle? I know, Jeff, you wore the same skinny Dickie jeans. You wore the same skinny Dickie jeans for 5 podcast episodes.
Wait. No,
for an entire year.
Wait, before that, I was wearing these nudies crushed jeans that I would always never wash. And then like when they started ripping, I actually went to a seamstress. I even got them repaired. So like in that sense, I was already on this punk crust fashion shit before anyone even told me what it was.
We're talking about baggy Jenkos. You're deflecting.
Okay, but like I think we're straying away from my main point. I get what you're saying. You're trying to say that this stuff like like runways are the tastemakers and everything. But in a sense, I see what you're saying. I'm not gonna lie, I do see what you're trying to get at. And where you're saying that like streetwear brands will just like follow suit afterwards and try to market that to like the lower masses and everything like that. But what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, it didn't all start with the runway. It didn't start like runway ain't the dinosaur. They ain't the egg. You know what I mean? Runway is like the egg is the person walking around in the Jenko jeans when they wanted to just do that regularly. And I'm saying, like streetwear fashion is basically like I'm not streetwear fashion. Runway fashion is essentially a poacher. You know what I mean? Like poaching the dinosaurs. I don't know. Do you see what I'm trying to get at though? I kind of agree with you.
Without runway fashion, there isn't fashion. There's just clothes. Right? Okay, so like if runway fashion does not matter, why does rejecting it feel so emotional?
I don't think rejecting it feels so emotional. I think if runway fashion actually mattered the way people say it does, it would show up a lot more in real life. And I think most of these pieces that you see on the runway, I know like the early '90s fashion, like when there was minimalism and stuff, that was very like you could wear that shit in real life. But I think like a bit after that and like currently now, everything looks essentially dysfunctional and awkward. And like if I was wearing this in society, like, yo, I'm getting gawked at. I'm not getting praised. I'm getting gawked at. And then
this is the hypocrisy, right? Because that's what being punk was. But now you're
Okay.
trying to be normative within the mainstream, right?
I'm not trying to be normative, but I'm not trying to wear like some piece that looks like a flamingo threw up on me or some shit like that.
But
Or like
that's how punk was perceived when punk was birthed, right? So
nah, but that's
it,
not punk is like you look kind of like homeless. That's what it is. But then like when I'm talking about runway fashion, like you don't think of punk when you think of runway fashion immediately. I'm just saying they do take some stuff from like
they do take inspiration, right?
right,
Like Vivienne
okay.
Westwood started out in England, school teacher, rebellious, started making jewelry. She like dated some dude who essentially funded her passion. I think he cheated on her or something. They eventually departed. She became bigger. Someone took interest in her and like became this like punk inspo
Rest in peace.
deity of like punk fashion, right? But like she essentially made punk acceptable in society. Like she moved the needle. I'm not saying she made it fully acceptable. It wasn't until years later, until we've kind of come full circle to the trend right now where it's like cool to be punk, but punk wasn't cool till someone made it cool. You were some like weird like crass part of society. Like the people who were punk were the goth kids underneath the staircase in high school, and everyone gawked at them, right? Like they were the weirdos. That's what
Yeah,
being punk
but
was, because
at
you're
least
going
at
against
least they
the
look
machine.
cool. At least they look
But,
cool. If I wear runway fashion sometimes in like the real life right now, I want to be looked at as not like a psychopath, not like a cool
but that's how they
psychopath.
were. That's how they were looked at when we were in high school, right? So I'm saying the parallel is if people looked at them as the psychopaths, and now wearing skull tees makes you normal, then wouldn't runway be the new punk in a sense? Because you're going against the stream.
Say that one more time. I was trying to find a picture for the producer, but like, can you just say that one more time? I couldn't find it.
I'm saying.
It was gonna defeat your point,
Uh,
but like
I said the goth kids, and like we could reference like South Park, like the goth kids
yeah,
in South Park.
that's what I'm
They're
thinking
not
of.
they're not perceived. They were not perceived as cool when it aired. They were like not the cool kids. Like they were bullied. The people in like Stephen Lewis, where we went to school, looked weirdly at the goth kids. Like there were some fringe weird kids. Like don't touch them. You're gonna get cooties. They're gonna get their ketamine on you or whatever. Like that was not cool then. They were actually like looked at as psychopaths, right? And if
Yeah.
wearing Rick Owens now makes you look like a psychopath to the mainstream, doesn't that make it more in parallel to what punk culture was than trying to dress like a normative like fashion scavenger that is just trying to bite off the acceptable parts of a fringe culture?
Um. Yeah, I can see what you're getting at. Um. I still think that if like those kids that you're talking about, they don't want to be like celebrated in the way that like high fashion these runways are kind of like taking their sauce and then trying to say like, oh, like y'all can be cool now because we made this shit cool. You know what I mean? They don't want to do that shit. They want to. Those motherfuckers are original and they're organic. You know what I mean? And what's it called? At the end of the day, high fashion isn't. If high fashion's taking away inspiration from them, then I just don't think. Um, I think it has a place in fashion as like being a performance, as being like a cool like thing that people can talk about. As it could be as something that sets brand identity for that season. But to say that it sets like these huge themes and everything like that, that like make like what's up next, I think is like too much to say. Like look at this picture I just found of runway fashion. I Google runway fashion, and that's what I see. Imagine you wore that in real life, bro. That's impractical as hell. And
It was
that's
to
not
make
punk.
the art.
Yeah, yeah, but then like you know what I mean? It's performance art at the end of the day. Like it's performance art and it's cool in that sense where they're doing this nice little performance. I'll let the jester dance, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like let's not try to kid ourselves and say that like that's gonna be digestible in real life.
But that's an example that is like obtuse, right? It's an upside down dress. No one's actually wearing that in real life. Let's look at like ERD runway fashion, right?
Okay.
Let's look at Balenciaga runway fashion. Like the t-shirt on top of the long sleeve was popularized in one of Denma's shows once again, but now you're wearing the Walmart version of it, right?
Okay, first of all,
3 years
what I'm
later,
wearing,
4 years later.
what I'm wearing has nothing to do with runway fashion whatsoever. What I'm wearing, I've been wearing this shit since I was like 6. You know what I mean? This is like in my skin and everything like that. And at the end, and like what, like, bro, kids dress like this. Like runway fashion is taking like from like original stuff, and then it's essentially just trying to say like, yo, like, yeah, we did that shit. Yeah, we did that shit. We did that shit, not you. You know what I mean? And then that's how I see it.
It's putting it to a pinnacle because at the end of the day, it's everything is referential, right? Like everything is copied, pasted, remixed. Like a lot of like what Virgil did was essentially taking an existing idea and changing it for the better, like his 3% rule, right? So that puts it as like the ideal of design. It's like what Plato said about how things in the world are just like mere reflections of like the God realm. Like there's an
Referencing Plato.
object.
Don't put quote
What?
Plato.
But it's the object of a bird. There's like a perfect ideal bird that exists within like the God realm. And then what happens to come in reality are like projections, like incomplete ideas, right? It's also once again like the allegory of the cave. Like what is actually runway fashion are the things casting the shadows on the walls, and then the people who are illiterate about what goes on in making a garment, what goes on in making a draft, goes on in making an idea, and just screen print reuse logos on t-shirts, think is actual fashion are the shadows that are projected on the wall, right?
Yeah, but like if you're gonna reference Plato, I'm gonna reference Socrates, and you know what Socrates said, bro? Socrates said that an examined life is not worth living, and like you know what I'm trying to say about that?
So
I'm
aren't
trying
you
to say,
not examining life by taking runway out of the picture? You're just trying to make life easier to examine by being myopic.
nah. I just referenced that just because you referenced Plato, but
Yeah. But isn't that the epitome of what being myopic is?
what does myopic mean? I'm sorry, I actually don't know what that means.
In short, it means to be short-sighted.
Be short-sighted, like ignorant. I guess are you basically saying like my
Like
perspective is ignorant, right?
willfully ignorant.
Okay, but you're saying I'm willfully being ignorant because I don't want to acknowledge that high fashion is a bunch of culture vultures. Is what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is you're being willfully ignorant because you don't want to take time to like actually educate yourself on how something is made, produced, and how the fashion life cycle goes. So you're satisfied by subtracting that out of the picture to give yourself a short-sighted view of what the actual cycle is, and you're happy to live within that like bubble where it's the shadows on the wall while there's like a whole lot going on behind the scenes that create the actual objects that cast the shadows on the wall.
Okay, but like runway fashion isn't doing all that. Runway fashion, like, are you saying it just because runway fashion has a lot of moving parts, has a lot of players in it, as a result that like they're basically whatever you just said, like that's what they're doing?
No, because they're like actually making engineered garments, right? Like they're actually taking the time to draft a pattern, study what the proportion ratio should be between your thigh, your waist, your leg, and your foot, and they create it. And what happens is a bunch of people who have $2,000 go and they buy a piece, rip it apart, and just copy it, right? So there's the people who have actually made the object, and then the trickle down of these like streetwear kids who don't even buy these things because they belong to a sect. They buy these things because it looks cool. It looks cool because someone took the time to make it look cool, and then all the vultures are just eating the scraps.
What's it called? And you're saying like streetwear brands are the vultures.
Exactly.
Like in like some sense, bro, you can kind of almost like say it's like almost like a cycle. You know what I mean? Where like, how do you know it didn't start? Like, I'm saying it starts with streetwear, and you're saying it starts with runway. And at the end of the day, I'm sure some streetwear brands like they get a lot of inspiration from the internet. They get a lot of inspiration from real life, just like how Runway Fashion does the same thing. And like just because one of them is like I don't know doing cut and sew and DTG printing and stuff like that, while the other is like making like dresses that freaking like are upside down dresses or something. Does that really take it away from streetwear? Just because they're not doing making upside down dresses? Yeah,
What is
I'm gonna
cut?
keep referencing that thing.
With your hands off the keyboard, what is cut and sew?
Cut and sew. It's what do you call it? When you cut fabric and sew it together.
And that is my point, right? There's like the people who will just reference something without knowing what it is or like what the actual production details that go into something and want to have an opinion, right? But it's like what changed in the world because streetwear existed?
What changed in the world because streetwear existed? Runways did because they take everything from them.
My point. It's a myopic, willful ignorance to
No,
feed yourself.
I'm not willfully being ignorant. I'm not. I just disagree with you. Like I just think that like I see what you're saying, but like at the end of the day, what I see runway fashion is I see it's like basically I think it's cool that like I like runway fashion. I like going to no, he's not. But I like going to like I like the idea of going to like a runway show and like wearing my best fit and sitting at the front and just like being part of like the fashion world and like the fashion experience. And at the end of the day, we're watching a spectacle, right? Like 'cause, like streetwear doesn't really have runways and like they have like pop ups and stuff like that, which is more like commercial because you actually can buy the stuff. And then like you get there and you feel a vibe when you're there. There's a DJ, they offer you drinks. There's like you mingle with other people there. You know what I mean? It's like a little party or anything like that. So you can still get that from streetwear. I just think it's I think the fun part of it being runway is that everyone treats runway as like so like fucking posh and like everyone has their nose so high up in the air that when I go there wearing my hella streetwear punk fit, I low key stand out and then like they're actually looking at me like, oh, who's that guy? Like you see what I'm trying to get at? Like I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong.
So, like, this is just my point, right? Like, how does fashion feel right now? Fast, compressed, internet-driven. Runway feels distant. Look at brands like Kith ripping off small independent designers who actually put in the work. Kith, streetwear, independent designer, not runway yet, but aspirational runway. They're putting the work in to get there. If runway is irrelevant, why does the rejection feel personal? Is streetwear independent or reactive? Who actually sets the language? Like, I could care less about being correct. I care more about tracing the influence. Rejection is still a relationship.
Okay, I still feel like if you trace the influence, you will still find it traces into like just like streetwear, and it's like not this streetwear that you're referring to, but I'm talking about the actual like organic streetwear that comes from music, that comes from other forms of art, that comes from lifestyle. Not like you're like kind of like you're boiling down streetwear to be something that's like very commercial and like cheap and like what do you call it? You're almost saying it's like they're stupid. You're saying they're like streetwear's ignorant.
Look at Zoomies who took from skate culture. Look for like what's become of brands like Vans who have lifestyle lines that are nowhere connected to their original sect that they belong to. Look at
Balenciaga who's taking these big ass proportions. Look at Balenciaga and Vetements who's taking these big ass proportions, which literally came from skate culture alone.
The skate culture never had the proportions to the equivalence of what Balenciaga did.
But it did. Yes, they did, and with Vetements they did it too. Like
look at old
videos of Bam Margera. No, look at old videos of Bam Margera skating. This guy's wearing a Toy Machine shirt that goes down to his knees.
Go search up the measurements and take a time to look at what a ruler looks like, but then go look at the measurements at Jenko. Go look at the measurements of a Jenko jean, and then go look at the measurements of a Margiela jean. And look how out of whack the proportions are. They're not equivalent. Just because someone did it first didn't mean they did it better.
Okay, but then thanks for proving my point that they're taking the inspiration from skate culture, which is essentially, you know what I
Which
mean?
isn't streetwear, right? Because streetwear still
Yeah,
stole from skate culture.
streetwear in a sense is skate culture because at the end of the day, streetwear is talking about like that's what I'm saying. You're looking at streetwear like from such a like a bastardized point of view. You're seeing it as like something
Dude,
like
because there was no such thing as streetwear when these people were living it as part of their lifestyle, right?
I feel
Streetwear came as a way to commercialize lifestyle. You're giving
I feel like
streetwear
it's
credit
debatable.
for stuff it never did.
I feel like that's debatable. I think we just have two different definitions of streetwear, and I think streetwear in a sense is literally motherfuckers on the street wearing the clothes they want to wear. You know what I mean? Versus motherfuckers in in the penthouses trying to dress like skaters.
How do you know the motherfuckers that were in the penthouses weren't skaters who made it big and now want to dress like elevated skaters?
I mean that's a possibility, but I think that's that's a slim chance, and that's the minority at the end. Like, yeah.
I just think the willful ignorance to exclude the possibility of these things and to also show how these like sects became popularized through high fashion is just a myopic way of looking at it either way, and to give streetwear the credit for punk dressing, painter dressing, workwear, for skateboarders, for runners, for walkers, whatever people do in their life, like athleisure. Like these are not things that were like inherently streetwear, right? Like these are things that came about through a lifestyle, got perpetualized through high fashion and the necessity eventually, and then got boiled down into streetwear through consumerist brands.
Yo, take a shot every time this guy says myopic, yo, too. Nah. Okay. Okay. Let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up with and let's move on to personal receipts. I think we kind of agreed to disagree in with the core tension, but I acknowledge what you're saying, and I hope you acknowledge what I'm saying as well. And I don't think we need it all in all because I think we already did that twice, and if we do it again, we're just gonna get into another
Another
debate.
roundabout.
Yeah.
Yo. Dante said, "Runway clothes be mad ugly sometimes. Performance art, but Hefe, where's that ugly ass backpack? Knowing it's
That's not
ugly."
hard. You know that backpack? That shit hard, yo. That shit fucking hella hard.
Safety in my heart.
The one with the face on it, right? Yeah, nah. That shit hard, bro.
No, that's the only commentary. My God.
All right. So I just took a shot. Mahan just took a shot of the eye drop in his eye again. You know what I'm saying his cornea is gonna
Yeah,
be
shit.
fucked by the end of the day.
Yeah, shit burning. I got everything
thinner.
on. I got shit on what do you call it? The night mode where it's like orange.
Oh yeah. What's it called? Like Google Lights? Yeah. Again.
No, the monitors is like a night light setting on your monitor that makes it orange, so it's less blue light.
It makes it yellow light, or like
Yeah.
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 I need to get that.
Yeah, personal receipt. Do you this is the thought I had right now. Do you think one day like cigarettes, you know how like cigarettes became cool, like they're kind of like part of like that like punk aesthetic?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Do you think in like the fashion life cycle we'll get to a point where vapes become like the new cigarette?
No.
We like find out it's like lead and it's like it's now cool because you're smoking lead.
No, never. I just think vapes look so stupid, and they look so like you look like you're sucking on like a whistle or something like that. It just looks really. I think I don't know how to say it. It looks really like I don't want to say like
you got the soundboard on my face, producer man.
Okay, I think it just looks like you're like I want to say like they're so like you lose aura right away when you pull out a vape, but like yo, that's what it is. Like I think the cool thing about cigarettes is like just like the whole
Yeah,
nature of
sucking
them
on a
inherently.
dick is cool. Yeah, like little.
Yeah, and then like yeah, like the way you're killing yourself by smoking them. That's like a kind of cool thing about it too. And like when you flick a
Same with
cigarette, like
vapes though.
bro, when you flick a cigarette versus when you flick a vape, like really, like
Yeah, I'm not
come on.
gonna lie. I love flicking cigarettes.
You love flicking a
Just
cigarette. You love spitting. You love like blowing smoke in the air. I used to do this thing when I
I
smoked
actually
cigarettes.
don't love spitting.
But I used to do this thing where I'd like you could smoke a cigarette and you could like kind of hold the smoke around you a bit. So when you're walking around, you can kind of just have a cloud of smoke like surrounding you. And bro, when you're
Yeah,
working downtown in corporate and like you look like the way you like I do in a sense, and you're just like walking around smoking your cigarette, and there's a cloud of tobacco smoke just like pushing everyone away from you, bro. I'm telling you, it's
yeah.
like like so they're filming a show. They were gonna sign me that day. You know what I mean? Like what's it called? So yeah, no, I don't think vapes they're too colorful for instance, and like yeah, like it just takes away from the old like the actual burn of it, like you know, lighting the cigarette,
Yeah,
all this stuff
but
is like
that's right now, right? Like what? Like I'm saying in like 20 years, like maybe like vapes get outlawed.
nah.
Do you think there's a
I
chance it
don't think
comes
so.
back? Like think the aesthetic now, like the somewhat futuristic aesthetic becomes vintage. It comes back, and then it's like Y2K, but it's like Y2
Nah,
2020. You know what I mean?
this
And
is like
then
nostalgia.
vapes
Nah,
become like a Tamagotchi, like retro accessory that is cool again. Because there was a time where having cigarettes were not cool, right? Like people look at
yeah,
you hella weird.
I
And then
still
I
feel
think
like that
like
time is still now. Like I think
no, I think cigarettes kind of became like retro. Like it's like I think like a lot of like the Gen Z students and whatnot like romanticize cigarettes or cigarette smoking again because it became so grunge or like it became so hated. It's like it's kind
that's
of
the
like
thing. They're grunge. They can and the vape can never be grunge ever. I don't think it could ever.
no, but it re-became grunge. Like our era, right? Like our era of liberalism. Like we were taught about the like cigarette health issues, and then like becoming healthy was cool. Smoking cigarettes were not cool. It was like old, like your parents smoke cigarettes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
I
then
think sorry, yeah, go on.
and then like now the new generation came and it's like, oh, it's like your grandparents smoke cigarettes, so it's cool again. You know what I mean? Like it skipped like the it skipped the not cool, like you smell like shit, you cough, like all those perceptions came away and became romanticized again. And I'm thinking like obviously vapes are going to a not cool trend right now and it'll probably last a few decades, but you think like the kids of our kids will look at vapes and be like, yo, what the fuck is this shit? Oh, that's kind of cool. What do you mean you create chemical steam from this Tamagotchi looking ass thing? Oh, and it gives you cancer. There's lead in it. You guys are smoking straight lead. What are you, Roman? With like lead in your wine and shit? You know what I mean?
I see what you're getting at, but I just want to like I just think like for instance, remember when Juuls first became a thing? Juuls
Yeah,
were like a
jewels are
very
kind of cool
no, Juuls were kind of cool, but they
because
never
they're sleek.
they never excelled at being as cool as cigarettes were. Like you know what I mean? I
I
get
don't know.
what's
Jewels were more popular like for a while. Like
no, I
they have
admit,
to ban jewels. Like that's how popular jewels were. They
nah, but then
banned
bro,
jewels.
no, they banned Juuls, whatever, but they're banning vapes now too. You know what I mean? And it's just about now in times, people are just a lot like they're a lot more lenient with this stuff now. And so they ban the big vapes, like the ones with the high percentages, but they keep like the mid ones, like or up to say only 20
No,
mg, right?
that's only y'all in Canada. They're still high up here. And the
Okay,
cops
well,
don't care about the flavor ban. They
okay,
just
well,
allow them.
that really just goes back to like what you said about like what's cool now is being healthy. Like I think that is cool. Being healthy is like a cool thing to
No,
do.
I'm not saying right now. I'm saying like when we were kind of going through like
Well,
our
I'm saying right now, it is cool to be healthy. And like, first of
Mhm.
all, like when you smoke a cigarette and you smoke a vape, or you talk to someone who smokes a cigarette and who smokes a vape, they're gonna say like, "Yo, like that cigarette is probably healthier than the fucking vape because it ain't got no lead in it. It got toilet cleaner in it. It got tar in it, but it ain't got no lead in it." You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's got combustion.
Okay, but then like a fucking vape might combust in your face one day. You never know that. It's literally a live battery.
Yeah, it's like, how often does
And
that
then what if you
happen?
get third degree burn? Like you know, if a vape explodes in your face and you have like a nasty scar on your face, like
Bro, you've probably gotten more third degree burns from smileys from a lighter than you have from a vape in your life.
nah. But like that's funny. Like you must be mistaking me for like a motherfucker who actually likes getting smileys. I've never got a smiley ever in my life. That shit just look too
Hey,
scary. Like
hey, producer, can you pull the picture of Hefe with the smiley at Mike Yang's house?
no, I actually never got one. I actually never got one. I never got one. I swear to God. But no, I see what you're saying though. I see what you're saying. Like because like that comes from like cigarette culture in a sense, like or like because you have to have a lighter. But
Yeah,
nah, man. Like I just think vapes aren't gonna be cool. I think you pull out a vape, like a girl like things get hella dry. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be like
like
hydrophobic.
obviously right now though, I'm saying, don't be myopic, take a shot and think 20 years from now.
It's called yeah. Nah, I don't know. I don't think that'd be cool. Yeah, no.
Reaction time. Let's
Yeah, let's
cut
do
it off
reaction.
with a reaction. You want to react to No Frills in Canada, which is
Yeah. No, it was like I was in Loblaws with our boy Stummy, and then
yeah.
we were grabbing ingredients for risotto, and then basically we passed by like these hats, and they're like these yellow hats, like the producer has them on the screen right now, and they're by No
Mhm.
Name, and we all know No Name. No Name makes
No,
food
but like No
for no
Name's not
frills.
is a Canadian. This is my
It's a
very
it's a
myopic
it's
of
a
you.
it's a Canadian
Think
brand.
of
It's a
our
Canadian brand.
international community.
It's a Canadian brand, and then basically like it's a grocery brand. That's what it is. And now they recently started making clothes. Well, they didn't recently start. They started like maybe a bit last year. I've only seen it this year though. And they're basically making clothes that kind of have like the same like appeal or like the same like kind of like punchline that Off White had, and it was just straight up like
Like
this
quotation thing almost.
wallet, card holder, wet
Ball
grass
cap,
on
trucker
a
cat.
carpet. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So
for bad
trucker
hair
hat
days, for
for
road
road
trips.
trips. They had another one,
Yeah.
trucker hat for driving trucks. If you see in the background, and it's like I just think I want to react to this. Yeah, like I want. First of all, I want to know your opinion to it.
Um, like I'm almost at the point of like I don't even know if these people know about Off White.
They definitely know.
Like, but how would they realistically? Like, Off White isn't that popular. Like within corporate mainstream. Like, I don't expect like the product manager of whatever these hats are went to like TikTok or is like fashionable or went to a fashion school. Like it just seems like they got like a product manager and they're like, make these hats and then take the tagline from all our other products and put it on this thing. And it's like, I think the fact that you think it's even referential to Off-White just shows the power of the runway.
What's it called? Nah, like realistically, like take your head out your ass and take your head out the runway for a second.
Take your head out
Fucking
of Virgil's ass.
yo,
Yeah,
yo.
go to your dad and be like, does this look like Off-White?
Nah, my dad doesn't know what Off-White is. My dad doesn't know what Off-White is. What's it called? Like you have to say for a fact that that has the same punchline as Off-White though with the quotation marks.
Dude, I have a family friend that like wears a Miri, right? Like he's Persian, wears a Miri, wears Christian Louboutin.
Yeah, I'm
If I
sorry, but
showed him this shit, he wouldn't like he would have no connection or relation to it. Like I don't think like No Name Brand is hiring some like Gen Z product manager who is like
you're being myopic right now. You're being myopic, bro.
no, I'm actually thinking way ahead because we both work for corporations. Neither of our corporations have like a swag. Your corporation probably doesn't have a swag store, but my like 5,000 employee corporation has a swag store. They print on North Face, they print on Nike and all this stuff. But like it's very obvious the product manager doesn't have some kind of like fashion leaning like marketing genius idea to make these shit look like trendy or cool or like marketable. And I just think this is basically like that. Like this is definitely not a Balenciaga Virgil takeover idea that's like supposed to be controversial and take over the internet. This is just some like middle-aged dude who thought this was cheeky and put it on a hat.
Okay. Yeah, it could be like that, but at the same sense, like it could be like this, like No Frills or like No Name was like, yo, we need to speak to the youth. We need to actually these everyone is selling clothes now. We need to sell clothes now too. Like for instance, I think Tim Hortons sell clothes, McDonald's sells clothes, and they have like they connect with like Cactus Plant Flea Market, for instance, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think it's like that like out of this world to think that they're
who
trying to hire
connected with Cactus Plant?
McDonald's, and then Tim Hortons connected with it was Tim Hortons, 7-Eleven, and Gatorade all collabed with like different like they all released Drift as well, and then the Drift they released is very similar to what you would see as like Cactus Plant Flea Market. So like I just think it's like a little like it's not far fetched to think that they are trying to. These are big ass corporations, bro. Like you and me work for like corporations that work for other like corporations, but these are corporations that are for the masses. You know what I mean? So
first of all, my company is privatized. So
okay, but like my company
don't go having graphic. Secondly,
you know what I'm talking about.
Secondly, the supermarket, right? Like these are Canadian brands. Like in the global scale, like you're comparing No Name brand to McDonald's, which is like one of the biggest companies in the world when it comes to real estate, against Gavin Newsom or whatever this Gavin dude is, who was slinging out unaffordable groceries while Trudeau was like murking the bank account of truck drivers. Like these are like localized brands that have this like, yo, Boone, can you please bring up a picture of this buck tea? I'm gonna put it here. This guy who runs this company, right? You think this guy is so privy to know Off-White, and the company that did Travis Scott burgers, who collabed with Cactus Flea Mart, did a Cactus Flea Mart collab. Like it is like on so many different planes of the world. One is like straight schizophrenia and one actually makes sense. So like this guy, right? Gavin Newsom. I'm pretty sure his name's Gavin Newsom. If it's not Gavin Newsom, I'm apology. But Gavin, whatever the hell his name is, this guy is not tapped in enough to like plagiarize Off-White.
Yeah, but he's not tapped in, but he probably hired like, someone else to do it. I'm not saying like he definitely did do that. I'm not saying this carries the same weight as Off-White. Don't get it misconstrued. I'm not. We're just reacting it to it's a fun reaction. But
No.
Like, because I'm not saying this shit. I'm not saying it carries the same weight as Off-White, but I am saying it has a similar punchline with the quoted stuff. You know what I mean? Where it's just literally describing what something is, and like, yo, this brand has always been doing that. They've been doing that with their original products when they only made food, and then they started making other stuff, and then they make cups now too, right? Cups for sipping and shit like that. Like, I think that's a cool cup though.
So, but that's their original tagline anyway. I think it's coincidental, right? Like someone who isn't in the know of the fashion scene, right? Like Off-White only did this for like 5 years, right? 5 years, which was the 2015s to like when Virgil died in 2019. Right, so there's this.
How do you know they weren't gonna keep doing it? How do you know they weren't gonna keep doing it?
Bro, that's not the point. What I'm saying is the cultural impact existed for 4 years. Playboy Cardi, opium, COVID, loungewear, all these things have existed for as long of a time. To like think any marketing student or like product development student, which is probably none of them, right? It's probably like some kind of marketing budget that goes into making this swag. Fucking just is recycling their margin tagline, but now for clothes. And then people who are somewhat in the fashion scene are like, oh, this is definitely referential of Off-White. It's like, dude, like get your head out of your ass. Like Virgil was not that big to have that kind of impact in fucking Gavin Newsom culture.
Okay, what's it called? Say it's referential of Off-White, is Butch is a straw man is not what I said. I said that it's fucking has a similar punchline, and that's all I'm saying. And then like what's it called? You have to agree to that
I
to
do
some
say
extent.
it is a similar punchline, but I also think it's also just whatever they've been doing since before Off White.
No, there's a chance that fucking Virgil drew inspiration from Gavin. You know what I mean? There's a small chance. You know what I
Bro,
mean? R.I.P. Virgil. You
Virgil
know?
drew inspiration from like the fucking airport traffic runway graphics on the floor. So like it is very likely, but
Not the yellow and black, but like just with the straight.
no, yeah, I get what you're saying the
Yeah, yeah,
tagline. No, but I'm
yeah.
also saying
Because
Virgil pulled inspo from like everything. You know what I
don't get
mean?
me wrong,
Runway
man. Like,
things.
but like if like I think a main reason like we're not actually looking at this and be like, oh, that shit's fire, is because it's like yellow and black, and then it's like the yellow is just so like
Well,
fucking like
it's like the worst kind of yellow. It looked like you
no,
haven't drank
exactly, and
any water.
it's so hard on the eyes. But I'm saying if that shit was black and white or white and black, I think that shit would
Yeah,
sell like hotcakes. You know what I mean?
dude, I think though the point is like the powers that be, like no name brand is like affordable, meaning it's for brokies, and rich people don't want brokies to have cool shit. So they make the brokies brand like shades, colors, silhouettes, proportions that are like undesirable. Right? So like therefore the cool shit becomes more desirable. And I think this is just that. Like this is just this Gavin dude. May he burn in like wherever. Just literally pissing on the people who buy his affordable shit. You know what I mean? Because he like looks
Yeah,
down
no, it's
upon
a
them.
quick cash grab, and he's not really putting much effort in it. Is what you're saying? Like,
Yeah,
I think
obviously, right? Like the
I
branding, the
think it's fun.
color. Like it doesn't take any more money to like make this a nice shade of yellow.
No, no, I see what you're saying, but like I just
Like
see
their
it
whole
like
brand.
it's fun. It's fun. It's like what they're doing is really fun, and it's like don't get me wrong, you're never gonna see me wearing this, like just like how you're not ever gonna see me wearing runway fashion outside the runway. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying
Yo, do
like
you not wait, do you or do you not own a pair of Ramones?
no, I don't.
Yeah, because they're Alibaba.
I have the fucking the dark shadow, the triple black dark shadow ones. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the Ramones. What's it called?
Those are the Ramones.
Okay, but you know what? I like the no, I don't like the low top ones. I like the high top ones are all black. They're canvas.
Chat, chat, clip this.
Yo, Chad, just look at my fit and look at Mohan's fit. Just that.
Yeah, you're dressed like me in the fifth grade, but wearing black.
Nah, bro, I know
And
what you look like in
I'm
the fifth
wearing
grade. Your ass had a mohawk. Your ass was rocking a faux hawk.
that was the eighth grade. I had long hair.
There's a faux hawk, you know what I'm saying? Like,
No, that's a thinning perm.
it's not a thin firm, and it's a high density
No,
firm.
that's not hey, Hefe's girl in the back. Can you confirm the thinning?
Oh,
Okay,
shit.
triple. Because this guy doesn't know even the fakes that he has. Triple black, mega bumper, dark
No, I like
shadow,
the dark
Ramones.
shadows. I the dark shadow Ramones.
That's what I said. Triple black, mega bumper, dark shadow, Ramones.
Now mine aren't the mega bumper ones though. I swear they're not.
They are the mega bumper because you have the fatter sole. You don't have the regular
This one
sole
is
on
this one.
them.
This one, bro. Dead as this one. Dead as this one. Dead as that one.
Dude, can you please go get your shoe for the
No,
chat?
I'm not gonna get it because it's all the way downstairs. And
No, you literally have them, bro.
Bro, I swear to God, I don't have those. I swear to God.
Yes, you
I swear
do.
to God.
Yes, you do.
Yo, Mahan, I swear to God, I don't have those.
Dude, go get the shoes
just
right
because,
now. Go get
just
the
because
shoes
you have,
right now.
and what am I gonna get out of it? What am I gonna get out of it? I win the argument. That's
Dude,
it. I'm not a kid. I'm not a child.
you're not, bro. I will pull it out of the group chat right now and send it
Bro,
to the
you could
producer.
you could pull out the group chat, and you're gonna be like, oh shit, he was right. I'm telling you for a fact, bro. I'm telling you for a fact.
Hefe. If I am right, if I get this right, beginning of the next podcast, you have to start by saying, "Hi, my name is Hefe, and I'm myopic."
Okay. But, and what if you get it wrong?
I'll do the same. I'll do it. I'll do it in reverse.
Nah. If you get it wrong, next podcast, you have to pull up in a hefty fit. Yeah, this motherfucker's skin gonna be burning,
I
bro.
don't even do that.
No, I'm being
Yeah.
serious. I'm being serious. I'm being serious though. I don't have, bro. I'm being
But
serious. I don't have those because those are way too like tall for me. Like I might cop them like maybe like a different pair, but I don't have those really big ones. I swear to God. Like
you
I wish
do.
I had them on me right now. I just don't want to go back downstairs to get them. It's just annoying. And I gotta like we gotta wrap it up eventually. But I'm telling you, Mohan, I swear to God, I don't have them.
You
Like,
do. You
no,
literally.
Mohan,
This
I
is
don't.
literally your
I
shoes.
wish you wouldn't look for them right now because you wish, bro. Those aren't mine. Those aren't mine.
Those are yours.
Those aren't mine, bro. Those are not mine.
Dude, no, I'm just pulling different reference points. Those are
Okay,
literally
okay.
yours.
No, I was gonna say
Look,
those aren't mine. The ones you posted.
look. I swear, these are all the mega bumpers.
Nah, the ones you just posted don't look like the mega bumpers.
Dude, they're
Bro, those are
they're
two.
they're
Those are
mega
two. Bro,
bumpers.
those are two. The two shoes you just posted right there are two complete shoes. Either way, I think we're losing track of like what we're actually talking about.
Anyway,
But like, yo,
no,
I
this
like
is this
okay.
is not anymore.
Bro, next podcast, I'll bring them out. I'll bring them out. You know what I mean?
Alright,
Let's end on the cliffhanger. You know what I'm saying,
alright,
but I'll bring them out next podcast. I swear to God.
alright. This has been Mahan in exposing Hefe. please, please tune in on the next podcast where Hefe will eat his
Mohan's gonna have
words.
pink eye. Mohan's gonna have pink eye again because there's pink eye in this podcast for some reason.
If you took a shot, you'd have pink face.
Yeah. No, I'm Asian. Yeah. What'd you do last night to get that swollen eye, bro? What were you doing last night? Yeah?
Holy, actually working.
Okay.
Uh,
That's a call. Yo,
uh,
Hugh did signing out.
Mahan signing out. Have a good one, guys.
Episode 5. Have a good
Mahogany
one.
Maroon. This is the fashion podcast. Fashion.podcast. I don't know, on all platforms. Just search it up, or check the link tree.
Yeah, and you can
Have a
find
good
me
one, guys.
at Mothman CA on Instagram and Mothman _ Inferno on TikTok. All right. Ciao.
Wait, hold up. I'm just sending the producer one more reference with the name
I'm
of
telling
the
you,
shoe
I do
underneath.
not have those, Mon. I'm
Yes, you
telling you, I
do.
do not have those. Yo, get the Hefe fit ready, bro.
No,
Okay.
all I'm saying, all I'm saying is you don't have the original soul. You have a stack soul.
No, I don't. I have the
Yes, you do.
Okay, well, we'll see you next one. And then like, if I lose, I lose. But I don't think I'll lose at all. Okay, see ya.
But